This is WFT, First at 5, I'm Maria Rodriguez.
And I am Candy Fontana Verde. The UF weather team says rain chances will remain high for at least the next few days. This week, rain could help fire crews put out the Perchman wildfire that's been burning for the last week in the Ocala National Forest. Drivers are warned to proceed with caution along US Highway 19 in Ocala with smoke still in the area. Extra patrols have been set along the forest to ensure not hot spots will flare up.
I spent some time at Operation Catnip in the Humane Society of North Central Florida. I learned people can help stray cats by making sure they're spayed and giving them lots of love, sometimes in the form of a home. Cats can be cute and cuddly, but many feline fur babies in Gainesville don't have a home. George Milovich loves cats. He and his wife's best friend, Mitsu, passed away recently.
I was very broken up when we had to put her to sleep. I held her in my lap.
George is visiting the Humane Society of North Central Florida to ease the pain.
The responsibility of taking care of this cat was such a good experience.
Emma Van Riper has taken in stray cats for 4 years.
It's so funny. People are like, Emma, why are you going after this cat? And I'm like, but there's a cat. I should at least feed it, you know?
Stray cats can endlessly reproduce, which can cause problems for the community. They also face dangers like disease and predators. That's exactly why some local organizations are trying to help.
Gainesville's Operation Catnip has treated strays since 1998. It traps, neuters, and returns them to their natural habitats.
When I graduated college, I knew I wanted to work with animals and I wanted to make a difference.
Jenkins says around 8,000 cats with all types of conditions go through the facility each year.
We have a cat that came yesterday with a leg that was so broken that its knee is basically down kind of by its shin.
Jenkins says it takes cat moms and dads like George and Emma to help strays find safe places to stay. Operation Catnip will celebrate having its 100,000th cat pass through its facility in July. Live in the studio, Aiden Wacksman, WUFT News.
With summer just getting started, Florida Fish and Wildlife just released the 2024 boating accident statistics, reminding our boating community to stay safe this season. Over the past year, Florida saw approximately $122 million in property damage from boating accidents, with about 1 in every 1,500 boats involved in an incident. These accidents led to a total of 81 boat-related fatalities, nearly 30 more than the previous year.
3 people are recovering after being rescued when their plane went down in the Atlantic Ocean off Florida's coast. U.S. Customs and Borders agents rescued the trio Sunday night. They say they were treating water for more than 90 minutes before they arrived. Agents say they were able to find the victims about 30 minutes after the plane went down due to his signatures picked up the Indian River County Sheriff's Office helicopter. The agents said they had to work fast to get them to safety.
They immediately noticed us and were waving to us, but I also noticed that one of the subjects kept looking back and calling back to a third person by name. I could tell in the look in his face, the way his pupils looked dilated from a distance, the way he was behaving, that he was struggling to stay above water, so he didn't have much more time.
The victims were then taken to the hospital. Their conditions have not yet been released.
A motorcyclist is recovering after flipping off his bike when he hit an alligator on a Central Florida highway. 67-year-old Cameron Gilmore was traveling to Sanford with a group of riders over the weekend when he and another rider ran into this alligator on the highway. It was captured on another driver dash cam. Gilmore said he didn't have time to react to the animal.
I saw it like 10 feet in front of me, and I just, I thought, I knew I was going to hit it, kind of just happened so quick. I didn't even have a second to do anything. Couldn't put on the brakes or nothing. I just had to hold on.
Despite a couple of broken bones and fractures, Gilmore is in good spirits and has every intention of getting back on his bike. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission handled the injured alligator. Coming up next, when First at 5 returns, the president's budget could face an uphill battle when it heads to the Senate later this week.
And more tariffs are set to go into effect this week as the president continues to clash with China. They plan to get their relationship back on track.
We are following breaking news on the confirmation of Dr. Santa Ono. The State Board of Governors just rejected his confirmation to be the next president at the University of Florida. According to the Tampa Bay Times, this is the first time in the Board of Governors' 20-year history that members have overturned a university presidential selection. Dr. Ona faced a thought confirmation hearing this afternoon where he has grilled on his stance on DEI, gender, affirming care, and anti-Semitism. We'll have more on this developing story on WUFT.org. Welcome back. President Trump has a few key moments coming up this week that could spell out his economic plan. 50% steel and aluminum tariffs are set to go into effect tomorrow.
Plus, his controversial budget is also heading to the Senate this week. As Julie Sturkin reports, tensions with China and Congress could put these two issues in danger.
In less than 24 hours before new tariffs take effect, President Trump is selling his trade policy to the public, claiming on his social media platform, because of tariffs, our economy is booming, and arguing the U.S. needs to be able to counter other countries' tariffs or, quote, our country doesn't have even a small chance of economic survival. On Wednesday, a 50% tariff on all foreign-made steel and aluminum goes into effect. Those products touch just about every aspect of American life, including cars, home appliances, furniture, and tools, not to mention canned goods.
The tariff agenda of this president, he believes very strongly in it.
And while the Trump team negotiates tariffs on the international stage, the president facing another battle here at home with his own party. Some lawmakers say the partisan spending package, the so-called Big Beautiful Bill, spends too much to fund Trump's agenda.
I can't in good conscience give up every principle that I stand for and every principle that I was elected upon, and that's that we can't accumulate more debt.
The bill extends tax cuts, boosts spending on defense and border security, and includes cuts to Medicaid and food aid programs. President Trump today targeting Rand Paul after he targeted the bill, writing the Kentucky senator has very little understanding of how it works. Also today, former special government employee and Trump ally Elon Musk writing on X, quote, this massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. The White House pushing back.
Look, the president already knows where Elon Musk stood on this bill. It doesn't change the president's opinion. This is one big, beautiful bill, and he's sticking to it.
Here on Capitol Hill, Democrats are united in opposition to the bill. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer even saying that he's agreeing with Elon Musk's assessment. Certainly rare for him to be saying that. And Schumer is warning Republicans not to buy into what he calls Trump's snake oil pitch. In Washington, Julie Sturkin, NBC News.
Light showers and heavy showers expected to go into tomorrow in the Gainesville and Alachua County area. I'll have more for you after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Well, I almost got caught by the rain coming to the studio. Definitely not a great day to go wash your car, right, Candy?
Yeah, sounds like a classic Florida weather. Reuben, what can we expect for this week?
So for tomorrow specifically, we are still expected to see rainfall and we are under flash flood risk. But let's take a look on campus. As of right now, as you can see, it's about 75-degree weather, and like mentioned, I was also rained on my way here to the studio. Now, let's take a look at our this evening. This reflects what I experienced earlier. You should expect clouds and storms going into the evening. 8 p.m. It's a possibility for showers and storms, but as the night goes on, the showers and storms are expected to end, but there is still a chance that we could see rainfall going into the nighttime. Now, let's take a look at Florida. We are all under marginal risk for flash flooding. This is mostly due to the low pressure building up around the coast of America. Now, this flash flooding it's a low chance that there is a flash flood coming to Florida, but there's still a chance. Now, let's take a look at our satellite and radar. As mentioned, everyone is experiencing this rainfall from North Florida all the way down to South Florida. It's just rain and swelling up, light rain and then heavy rain on different parts of Florida. Now, let's take a look at our futurecast. It shows with Tuesday, going into Tuesday, it was rainfall. Going into tonight, the rainfall should subside. And then going into the morning, you see light storms maybe here and there. Okay, this is the culprit, the low pressure that is building on the coast of America. It is expected to move more northward towards Georgia and South Carolina, but it is bringing rain with it, and it is affecting all of Florida for the most part. Now, The National Hurricane Center said that there's a 10% chance or a low chance that a tropical storm could develop with the potential of getting its own name. But it is a low chance, not to rule it out. It's still a low chance for the most part. Now, let's take a look at the low temperatures. So, for the low temperatures for Wednesday morning, you're seeing mostly 70 degree, 71 for Gainesville, 74 for Jacksonville. This is due to the chance of a storm potentially hitting us tomorrow. Wednesday, high temperatures, not getting as high as what we're used to in Florida. Gainesville only getting up to 84, Lake City at 83, Ocala at 85. That's not usual summertime weather, but that is due to the storm and potential rainfall that we could see. Quickly, going over the weekend forecast, there's a chance that rain could be affecting us all throughout the weekend, so an umbrella is most likely suggested.
An upgrade is coming to Bellevue City Municipal website. The upgrade site will provide residents, businesses, and visitors with improved access to city services, information, and community engagement tools. Key features include online bill pay, interactive city maps, and an enhanced Notify Me system. It goes live June 11th.
The City of Gainesville 5th Annual Journey to Juneteenth celebration is underway, with festivities having begun on Florida Emancipation Day, May 20th, and ending on the Juneteenth holiday. The celebration seeks to honor the journey to freedom while staying true to the history of the state's emancipation. The next event scheduled for Gainesville's Season of Freedom is the Gainesville Film Festival on June 7th, with a Juneteenth breakfast and Black Music Month celebration on the 19th. For more information on when or where to find these events, visit the city's website.
Coming up in sports, Gator baseball and the University of Florida issued an apology to Coastal Carolina late Monday. We'll dive into why. And still on the diamond, a former Gator baseball player is becoming royal tonight. We'll look into Jack Tagliano's rise to the big leagues when we come back.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome to sports. I'm Alexa Conroy. The University of Florida saw their baseball season come to an end Sunday following a second loss to East Carolina at the Conroy Regional. But the result isn't the focus for fans. It's what happened before the game. Reporter Sydnie Espro has the details for us.
The University of Florida issued apologies to the NCAA and Conway regional officials Monday after the pregame incident on Sunday. With Florida's season on the line versus East Carolina, tensions were already high, but then things boiled over for head coach Kevin O'Sullivan when officials changed the game start time.
1:30 in the morning, you got to chase that for what? Because they play late? Big deal. 1 hour's gonna make a difference? I'm sorry, Mike. I appreciate you.
That's Florida head coach Kevin O'Sullivan tearing into NCAA and Coastal Carolina officials after the start time for his team's elimination game versus East Carolina was changed. O'Sullivan wasn't happy that officials pushed back the start time 1 hour after the Pirates' late finish on Saturday. After the game, O'Sullivan was asked about his actions and said this.
Did you address the situation before the game?
I don't address that right now.
Nothing there, apology or anything like that?
I handled it properly. You know, at the game, yes.
There was also a video of O'Sullivan berating officials on the field. Coastal Carolina coach Kevin Schnall called O'Sullivan's actions unacceptable.
Another coach disrespected our associate AD, who works as hard as anybody in our entire program. He disrespected our field crew, who are the salt of the earth. These guys would do anything for our program. It's not okay.
Following a meeting with athletic director Scott Strickland on Monday, both the AD and O'Sullivan issued apologies on social media. Strickland said, "On behalf of Florida Athletics, I want to personally apologize for everyone impacted, including the NCAA representatives, Coastal Carolina and their staff, East Carolina and their team, as well as Gator Nation." O'Sullivan said, "I did not represent the University of Florida to the appropriate standard and take full responsibility for that, and promise to learn from this experience and be better moving forward."
Despite the time change, the Gators ended up losing the game to East Carolina 11-4 and saw their season end. Now they look forward to 2026 after finishing with a 39-22 record. Live in the studio, Sydnie Espro, WUFT Sports.
From Gator Nation to the big leagues for Florida, former Diamond star Jack Caglione is officially making his major league debut tonight with the Kansas City Royals. Drafted 6th overall just last summer, Caglione has been tearing through the minors. He's hitting .322 with 15 home runs in just 50 games across AA and AAA. Caglione, who's known for his power, will help a Royals team that is currently one of the worst hitting teams in baseball. He will act as the designated hitter when the Royals hit the field in St. Louis at 7:45 p.m. Jack Caglione isn't the only Gator making waves on the national stage, as UF golfer Luke Poulter was gunning for a spot at the U.S. Open Tuesday. Unfortunately for Poulter, he lost in a playoff to Austin Truslow in the Palm Beach U.S. Open qualifier, so he will be an alternate if needed. He did make the cut for the Palmer Cup next week. Poulter, a redshirt sophomore, earned all region honors after a breakout season with the Gators. And before we go, for the second time in 3 seasons, Florida men's golf coach Deacon named the Division I Southeast Region Coach of the Year Tuesday. In his 11th season with the program, Deacon guided the Gators to another successful year, winning a second SEC title in 3 seasons. And that's it for sports. We'll take one last look at weather after the break.
Now, let's take one look at this 7-day outlook. It is expected to be rainfall and storms all throughout the week. The temperatures will be varying, sometimes 80 at your high, sometimes 90 at your high, but the lows will be pretty consistent. We're looking at 70-degree temperatures all throughout the lows for this week.